Age of Ascension, more like Age of Amber Hate. Hey, I'm the Keyforge Corner, and today we're going to look at the flawed way that Age of Ascension tried to be cool and different. Alright, so why don't we start? So first off, we have Zizisix Shockworm. I probably butchered that name terribly. This card, as long as he's on the field, when an enemy creature finishes reaping, you stun it. Now, there is a second Mars card pretty similar to it. It's Amber Condition Unit. It's an artifact. It's right here. Can't you see? And after an enemy creature reaps, if it is the first time a creature has reaped this turn, stun it. So, it's pretty much like a more balanced version of it. However, there is the whole problem that the set itself doesn't have too much artifact control. Meaning that when there are artifacts like Amber Conduction Unit, it's probably gonna stay there. Now speaking about artifacts, we've got Seismo Entangler. Now this one's an interesting one. You use this artifact, you choose a house, and during your opponent's next turn, creatures of the chosen house cannot be used to reap. So another card that pretty much stops your opponent from reaping. Next we have Barrister Jova. However you pronounce her. Enemy creatures cannot reap. It's pretty much the same thing. However, she is even more broken because as long as she stays here, your opponent has no reaping. So he has to just focus on this thing in order to gain some more advantage through reaping. Bloodshard Imp, one of the more interesting ones in my opinion. After a creature reaps, its controller must sacrifice it. Now why I think this is more interesting is because A, it sacrifices / destroys the creature that reaps, and it's a double-edged sword. So if you want to reap, you have to remember that this is on the field as well. So using this can be a problem for you too. Now, Amber Imp. You're thinking of the wrong guy. Amber Imp. Now, he has elusive, obviously. And when a creature stops reaping, like when it finished reaping, you stun it. That's, if you noticed, a similarity here. And technically, this guy also fits into this. Now, with this guy's effect, when an opponent gains Amber by reaping, he captures it. There's also an untamed creature, Amber Wolf, or whatever his name is in English. He has hazardous free instead of elusive, meaning he still has some sort of protection. And when an opponent uses a creature to reap, you gain an Amber, meaning you pretty much gain as much Amber as your opponent does when he reaps. Now, when we have all of these cards, these are all cards I got from 5 decks. As you can see, some of them are from the same decks, some aren't. And why this is worrying for me is that this is the new cool thing about Age of Ascension. Age of Ascension, more like Age of Amber Hate, yeah. So this set itself, as you can see, pretty much focuses on stopping your opponent from reaping in a lot of different ways. Some more creative, some less. I do kind of like this where reaping is punished, because reaping before was just an overly strong mechanic which every creature could use, and it was just really good. Because if you had a whole field and there were no cards to destroy your opponent's creatures, then you could just keep on reaping and reaping until you are weeping. And now here, by adding these into every deck, you think to yourself, that's more balanced. Now if you do this, then you don't need to worry about your opponent reaping too much. As much as I agree, this does bring other issues to the table, which I will discuss in a different video. However, yes, I like this, but I do feel that they could have worked on this a bit better, because even though this gives the set its own identity as the Amber Hating set, or the Reap Hating set, whatever you want to call it, here we have the problem that they punish creatures which have Reap effects, which makes sense. Reap effects give you an Amber, and they have a cool effect. It's pretty much the best type of effect you can have. Besides, of course, things like play effects, which you can have instantly. But that's besides my point. What I'm talking about here is the difference between just an action and reaping. When you have the choice between action and reaping, usually reaping just seems so much better. you gain extra amber, and you get the effect. Now, what I feel like this set could have done with this function is make action effects better, balance it out a bit, so reap effects won't be crippled. They just give you these little tools to make sure that reaping is no longer as good and as reliable, so that action can be the new cool thing of this set. That's not what happens. I opened 5 different decks, and this is the only guy with an action effect. Everything reaps in this set. Everything reaps and everything gets punished. This set hates you. Why? This was such a good opportunity, which I just feel that the creators of the set have wasted a bit. Because everything has reap effects, and everything gets punished for having those set reap effects. I don't know. Maybe in some way this does all balance out and I'm just some big idiot for having a problem with this, but I don't know. Well, this was the Keyforge Corner, talking about the most reap-hating set which we had so far. Hope you keep on forging those keys, and I will see you in the next video.